Hi, this is Betty, and I'm going to tell a story about how we lost our cat, Harley. It looked like one of his eyes was infected, and so my son brought him over here to PetSmart where he had an appointment to have him checked out. I was at my cousin's funeral and Carl was at work, so neither of us could take him. Anyway, as our son got our cat out of his car, a big truck went by, a very loud one, and our cat is scared of loud noises and strange people, and he literally jumped out of our son's arms, scratched him on the neck, leaped over the top of the roof of his car, and then ran around the south side. And our son tried to find him, and I think he spent 2 hours looking for him. We'll go kind of show you a little bit of the area where we think he ran into. So anyway, okay, our son was parked about halfway between here, PetSmart, and where that red truck is. And when the cat jumped out of the car, he ran around the corner. This is a huge shopping area. We got Walmart and Home Depot and other businesses, and then around the corner are some more shopping places, and he just took off, and my son couldn't catch up with him. So we'll go see where we think he went.
He might have ran up through here first and then cut across here, because if you'd have gone straight through here, it's just, there's water right down there. You can't see it, but underneath the garbage is water. It's a canal. So we think he may have gone right along the edge of that building there, hidden behind those bushes, and then come and figured out a way to jump across this part here.
We don't think he would have gotten his feet wet, though. He hates wet feet. So we think he would have run into bushes and hid for a while. Or came up and hid in this dumpster area.
And what you can't really see here is, if I come back here where it's kind of slippery and dangerous, is this whole area is wet, and it's a wetlands. And when they built this full subdivision, they had to get permissions from the EPA and do all sorts of things. But if you come behind this new strip mall here, not new in age, but new in this video, behind it is a sidewalk.
Anywhere
and
in these bushes.
Yeah, he could have come anywhere along here. And this is where we originally thought he went south. And we're not going to go down there right now. But we think he came this way, and the reason is because of where he found him.
Okay, we think he came through this parking lot, heading north. The Vinyl Industry Fence Company is through there, and we think he came over here, and it would have been at night when there were hardly any cars around, because cars and noise scare him, and he would have gone across this busy road. Okay, we think he came down this way, and he would have been hunting on probably this side, and he would not have gone under the freeway. This is just too loud, and it would have freaked him out. So we think he probably would have gone up here into one of these neighborhoods. And at night, this would have been really quiet. Hunting all over in this area, hanging out. Unless somebody picked him up from the PetSmart store area and hauled him away. Okay, here's a school, and it has tons of areas where he could have hunted in the background. In the back of the school is what I meant to say, but anyway. There's the freeway right there, and he probably went in this area here. Plenty of open space, fields, trees to hide in, to look for mice. He would have avoided people, cars, and probably strange cats. This is where he ended up. Now we'll show you exactly where, but this is a huge field, and anyway, there's a trail here. Here's the trail, And our son Mike woke up one morning about 5:30 in the morning, and he just couldn't sleep. He had some heartburn and decided, I'm going to go walk north and go on a trail. This is facing south, and our son came up this trail right here and was walking down this trail right here. He got to this point right here and he thought, oh, beautiful sunrise, and he took a picture, and then he noticed this cat sitting in the field, and he went, that looks like our cat. And so he took a close-up of it, and he goes, I think I found our cat. And he was just sitting right there on that cement, I don't know what you call that, divider.
It's just an old...
And he called Harley. Harley looked up at him, but he wouldn't come to him. By this time, Harley was very scared of everyone. So anyway, he called us up, and my other son and I came up here, and we looked all over this area. We walked from one end of this big field clear to the other end. We called his name, and we couldn't find him anywhere.
And what the camera can't show is that this field is at least 400 yards long. You look up there at the end of the trail, and the camera is going to look really small, but it's really small here. That's 300 yards away from us.
So it was a huge area that we had to look through. Anyway, so we went home, and then I called up my other daughter and my grandkids that have helped us look for the cat, and I said, if you guys can find him, great. This is where he was at. This is where Michael saw him. So they came up here and were hunting, and they started on one end, and they were coming down this way, and they saw him.
This is all thistle, and it's nasty to walk in.
Yeah, it's a horrible field to walk through. My daughter had sandals on, and she was going through this whole place. But they called us up, and they said, we found him, but he won't let us pick him up. And this is where we came, and then Carl's going to tell the rest of the story on how he got the cat.
We've moved, and looking at this direction, let's move just a little bit more, and I'll show you the tree that I pulled him out from under the first time when he let me carry him. And there were, like I say, the other two cats. There it is, that's the tree right there. And it's a large tree, it's right in front of the house. And this entire area is a huge open field that is probably, like I said, 400 yards long, maybe more. See the log over here from a broken tree, and then beyond it is another tree. Well, the cat went to this log and jumped on the log, and he looked interested in me, and that's it. And so we figured, okay, he knows Carl. So I went in there, and when I got close, he ran underneath that tree, and at the time the branches were fully fledged out. That's a bird. The leaves came to the ground, and there were only a couple spots that I could see, and I found him. He was laying down near the trunk of the tree, and there was one clear opening that I could see, and I went in as far as I could get, and I got on my knees, and I said, Harley, come here. And he got up and walked over to me. And so he let me hold him, and I came walking back down here towards this area, and he saw my wife and Tyler, my son-in-law, walking towards me, and they bolted again.
And then another cat was coming.
And there was another cat, and he does not like, there were two other cats in the field, and we saw a third one at one point, and the third one was only interested in me. Obviously a housebroken cat, very nice, and was coming to me, and Harley took off. And we couldn't find him for 15-20 minutes, and it was starting to get dark. And I just went back down to this log where I first saw him, and just sat there, discouraged, because there was no way we were going to be able to find him. I said, let's go home. So everybody had come back out to the trail that we're on, and I was just thinking about making my way over, and he came.
And you had a can of cat food.
So, yeah, I had my wife get a can of cat food for me, which we happen to have with us because she's smarter than I am. And in the back of my wife's car, we had a Sterlite or Tupperware type box, a great big one. We can't find it now, or we'd show it. But they brought that box and dumped it over the fence without Harley being able to see him, because I gave him the food and he was eating and really eating. He was really hungry. And so as he got finished with the food, I picked him up, and he saw the other cats and wanted to run away, so I put him down, and he wanted to be next to me. And so I just slowly walked towards that box that they'd dropped on the other side of there's a second fence. It's just 15-20 feet this side of that fallen tree. And my son-in-law dropped the box and took the lid off and leaned it up against it, and or up against the fence, and I walked towards it, and I picked Harley up and tried to put him in the box. He jumped out, and I figured, okay, I messed it up. But he didn't go very far, and he let me pick him up again. Only this time I was smart enough to put him in right, cover him up, pick him up, and we put him in the car, which we had parked at the crosswalk right up here, just on the right side. And we put him in there and took him home, and we were absolutely amazed. It was a miracle that we found him. When we got him to the car, and I'm going to let Betty tell you her feelings.
Anyway, we felt that we had our prayers answered, and some people may think that's a little silly, but our cat means a lot to us, and so we just prayed intently when he first got lost, and then I figured out we're saying the wrong prayer, because we were hoping he'd find his way home. We didn't realize how far north he'd gone trying to avoid the freeway. So I prayed that we would be led to our cat, because he was not going to be able to find his way home. And so I think that our son Michael came this way, and there was a reason why he came this way, and he literally found our cat, and it really was a miracle. And that's our video about how we found our lost cat. So if you like our video, please push like.
It's such a huge field. I can't believe we ever found that kid.